Well, good evening, everyone, team. Welcome back to the sessions. Let's start the session for today. Meanwhile, others can join parallelly, team. So I can see a couple of questions posted in the chat by this time, team, by Hassan and Navmeet. See, first I will take the topic for today. Whatever the issues that you are facing with the instance or with the video portal access to login, I will show you. In fact, at the end of the session, I will demonstrate and I will give you clear information about how to log in into the portal and how to access the videos and what are the two instances that we shared for practicing team, which one we have to use. Post today's session, you will be getting a clarity on that. So I request, please be wait till the end of the session. I will be addressing that issues, team. And also one more request to everyone, team. From tomorrow, please try to join the session by sharp 8 p.m. because there are some students who having their night shifts, who are working professionals and they are into night shifts and they are requesting to conclude the session by 9 o'clock without any delay. So I request everyone from tomorrow, please join by sharp 8 o'clock so that as per our schedule, we can able to conclude the session, team. So day 1 and day 2, two demo sessions we completed already, team. So in that two demo sessions, we have seen what is this Oracle Fusion application is about. First of all, what is ERP? What are the different products we have under this ERP family? And within that, what is this Fusion applications and Fusion applications evaluation overview, and also the environment release versions, how the Fusion application release upgrades happening in the market. That all we have seen, team. And in yesterday's session, I have explained you Oracle's knowledge repository. It means how to access standard Oracle delivered documents with respective to this application, how to navigate in the internet, how to download the documents and all I have shown you. And also in the yesterday's session, I have given the information about the Oracle certification process, how the certification will be conducted, what is the cost of that, what is the examination pattern, that all we discuss it, team. And then I introduced to you the Fusion applications, how the Fusion applications will be delivered when any company buying the product from Oracle. I mean, in which form the application will be delivered. That all we have seen, team. And what are the different names that we can call the Fusion application, I have explained you. Right, team? And then before closing the session yesterday, I have logged in into the system and I have navigated through the home screen functionalities, how to log in into Fusion application. Once we log in on home screen, what are the functionalities we have? That all we have seen, team. Now, by this time, we understood the background of the Fusion application, for what purpose this Oracle HCM cloud application will be using in the market. And once we learn this technology, where we are going to work, for what activities we will be recruited in the IT companies, that picture everyone have some clarity, team, by this time. Now today, I'm going to start with our regular classes. So the very first topic in our training that we have to pick up will be, team, the concept of security administration. So this is the first and the foremost module or the concept every one of us should know before we starting any other concepts, team. So before we actually starting our functional training, core HR, you take absence, you take anything, the base everyone should be clear with is security administration. What is this security administration? What we are going to see, why initially everyone should aware of this concept, team, Any training you take, it might be HCM, financial, supply chain, anything. The basic understanding of the application you people should have. If that to be needed means this concept should be trained you first. So every batch, this is a common pro forma that we follow, team. The first concept that we are going to start today will be security administration in the Fusion application team. So what is this security administration in the Fusion application team? What we are going to see in this, see, security administration concept when you take, we have two concepts in this security administration team. They are, one is user account management, one is user account management, and the other one is team role management. Role management. So if you ask me, in the security administration concept, we are going to look at these two concepts, team. What are they? One is user account management and the other one is team role management in the Fusion application. So first of all, we will start with user account management. What do you mean by this user account management, team? See, how you can access the Fusion application. I told you, whenever you passing your application URL in any of the search engines, system prompting to this page, sign in Oracle Applications Cloud. It means what, team? You require a user account. It requires a user account to log in into the Fusion system. So anyone who want to access the Fusion application, they have to log in with their user ID and password. It means you require user account in the system, team, right? So why I'm telling this concept initially, team? Why? Because, for example, let's assume team, Reliance Industries, we will take as an example. This is our client or the company who buying the product from Oracle team. Okay. Reliance Industries bought the product from Oracle. This is the client or the customer company. Now Reliance Industries given the project to our Infosys or Wipro, any company that you know in the market, you can take, team. Let's say, team, Reliance Industries given the project to Infosys. This is a IT company in the market. So we will be working in these IT companies on this Oracle HCM cloud technology I told you. Now Reliance bought the product from Oracle. They given the project to Infosys. So Infosys deployed, let's say, 10 resources, team. Means what? 10 of their HCM consultants, 10 of their HCM consultant employees. Infosys mapped for that project. Resources, nothing but employees. Okay. So Infosys deployed 10 of their resources for Reliance Industries project team. So we will be one among this. In real time, what you will be, where you will be part of? In any so-called IT companies, you will be part of their consulting team. So we will be called as implementation consultants. We will be called as implementation consultants. So we are from Infosys. We are the 10 implementation consultants who is going to work for the Reliance Industries project implementation team. So Reliance bought the product and given the project to Infosys. Now we have to implement the Fusion application according to the client Reliance requirement team. So that is what we are going to do. All these modules, whatever in the scope that our Reliance client using, all these modules we are going to configure in the system and we have to hand over to them. so that they can able to use this application in their day-to-day HR activities, right, team? Now, how we all 10 people, example, I'm telling 10 resources in this, but in real time, the size of the project that we are working team, our company might allocate 5 consultants, 10, 15 consultants, or 20 consultants, depending on the size of the project team. Number of people working in the project will be decided. Okay, that we will see in our implementation project workshop sessions team. But here, why I'm telling is this. Now we are working in Infosys. Let's say we got the project from the client Reliance. So we all 10 people require their application access, right? We have to log in every day because we have to configure the system. Means we all require the application access. Who will create the user accounts for our team? Basically, team, in real-time projects, what happens, Reliance Industries, when they're giving the project team, they will give the application access to us. Okay. But sometimes they will only create for all of our implementation consultants, all the user accounts, passwords, their internal IT team, they will only create and they will share with us so that we can use the credentials to log in and we can start configuring the modules in the system team. But sometimes what client will do, client will create one user account with all access team. Whoever is the project manager in our team is there. For that person, one user account client team will create with all the access, and they will ask us to create the remaining accounts or remaining consultant accounts team. So as a beginner or as a consultant, first and the foremost thing that you should aware of in the system will be how to create the user accounts to provide access, right? So all of our 10 people requires the application access of the client. So client created one account and they given to us for our project manager or team lead. By using that, we have to log in into the system. For rest of the team members, the user accounts have to be created. So in user account management, we are going to see how in the Fusion application, user accounts will be created, how the access will be created team. Again, when it comes to user account management team, here two types of users will be there for the application team. Users means whom? Who using the application team. Two types of users here. One will be our client employees. Our client employees. Okay. So we are implementing the project for Reliance Industries. For all the employees of Reliance Industries also, the application access to be created because it's a HR application. Every employee should able to access the system to check their employment information, to check their leaves and apply the leaves, or every month to check their pay slips or performance appraisals. Every employee of your client have to access the system. So when we learning about user creation team, we have to see how in the Fusion application for the employees of the client, the user accounts will be created. At the same time, for our implementation team, we are not the employees of the client organization team, correct? We are implementation partner for the client. We are not the employees team. Means in the system, we will not be hired as a employees team. We are implementation consultants. We are there to just for configuring and then handovering the project. So when we learning about user account creation, we have to see from both the perspectives. If it is an employee in the client organization, how the user accounts will be created for them. If it is not an employee, we require access to the system. So for all of us 10 members team, just user accounts. We are not hired in the system as an employees, but we require just user accounts to access the application to configure it team. So there are two ways. Please focus. There are two ways in the Fusion application to create the user account team. For employees in the system, whenever hiring happening team, this comes under our core HR module. Now I'm trying to log in with one of my user ID team. So basically in the system, once we configure and we hand over team, once our client started using the application team, in the core HR module, the hiring of the employees will happen. Let's say today on August 1st, HR hiring the employee in the system team. So basically here HR will go my client group, new person, and then they will have a task here team, something called hire an employee here. So in order to hire the employee in the Fusion application, HR will go to hire an employee team. So for the employees in the client's organization, whenever HR hiring the employee, once he capture all the details, finally click on submit, the worker record will be created. Employee record will be created in the system. So for the client employees, whenever HR hiring the new employee team, automatically system will create the user account. While hiring team, in the second tab, person information tab, we will capture employee work email ID team. So once we complete hiring, system will create the user account and the concerned employee will be receiving the email also from the application team stating that congratulations, your application account has been created. Click on the link to reset the password and login. This part I'm going to practically show you in the core HR module team. Why? Because hiring of an employee will happen in the system in core HR module. So for the employees in the client organization, once we configure the system, once we hand over and they started using the application team, when HR hiring automatically or automatic way of creation means system itself will create the user accounts automatically for the employees team. By hiring, that will be taken care. But when it comes to we much more before employees, we will come into the picture, because once we configure the application and once we hand over only, they will start using to hire the employees and then they can use. But much before, when we go for the project, how we will access the client application, we all also should be having the user accounts. Other than employees, if they want access team, like we implementation consultants, just user accounts will be created for us. For us team, manually we have to create. So manual way of creation. So in order to create the user accounts in the Fusion application team, these are the two options we have. One is automatic way of creation and the other one is manual way of creation team. So now we are going to see this concept. Why? Because when we initially enter into the project team, we all require the application access of our client. So client will give one user account for our project manager. We have to log in with that. And for rest of our team members team, we have to create the user accounts. That I'm going to start with. Why I have started security administration initially? When you go for the project, the first thing you will do is user creation team. For all of our team members, we have to create the user accounts to access the client application. Then only every day we can log in and we can start working on the implementation of the modules, configurations and all team, right? So let us see this way of creation team. This part we will be talking in the core HR module. Once we implement the core HR, once I'm hiring the employee in the system, I will show you team. How Fusion application automatically creating user accounts for the employees team. Now let us focus on this manual creation. I will come to this in next 20 minutes team. So how to generate or how to create the user accounts? The question is, now let's assume whatever the user I am using team, this client given user account, let's assume for our project manager, I told, right, one account they will give. So let's say this account, you take that as team. So I'm using the user account. This is my user ID and I'm logging in team. In real time, our project manager login credentials, what client shared with us. Now team, after logging into the system, if you want to create new user accounts team, where we have to go? Yesterday, I have introduced to you this Springboard area, right team? In this Springboard, we have several functional areas showing up team. Here, if you click towards the right arrow, see, the bar is moving slightly, right? Here team, we have a functional area in the Springboard called tools, So we have to go to tools functional area. Under tools, we have a sub-functional area here called security console. In the entire Fusion application, the concept of security will be working on a one single area called security console. Under tools, we have to go to security console. If any one of you from e-business suite background, freshers, okay, ignore, or other non-IT people, ignore. I'm talking about if any people in the batch came from or comes from e-business suite background. In EBS, how the concept of security, access, user creation will be working. We used to have a separate channel, Oracle Identity Management. Then we used to have the users and adding the responsibility, that concept. But in Fusion application, the entire security will be handled in a one single area called security console, right? So we have to go to tools. Under tools, we have to come to security console. So we have to go to security console and we will land upon this page team. Okay. We have the very first section, roles. The current page is that one. Under roles, we have users. See? So if you want to create a user account in the system, we have to go to users, right team? And then here we will be landing upon user account page. So if you want to create new user account, now we logged in with our project manager credentials team. Let's assume for rest of our team, we are creating the user accounts, right? So for all of our team members, I have to create the user accounts in the same approach. Come to security console, come to users, and to create the new user account team, on the right hand side, we have a functionality called add user account. Click on add user account. So you will land upon this page team. So this is the user creation page, right? Now, when you configuring the user account team, associated person information, and we have associated person type. Two options we will have. Okay, stay focused. None, worker. What are they team? None and worker means now I want to create the user account for my implementation team. So we are not employees in the client organization. I told you, we will not be hired as an employees team. If you are creating just user account only, we have to keep person type as none, none. But let's suppose team. Uh, Now the scenario much forward I am talking about. Let's say team, we configured the system, we hand over it to the client. Now Reliance Industries started using this application in their day-to-day HR activities. So HR, while hiring the employees team, obviously application will create the user account. But due to some data discrepancy issues, if system could not able to create the user account automatically, there will be cases team that I will tell you when we hiring the employee, what will be the possible cases when system cannot create the user account team. So in that case, if let's suppose any employees in the system, HR hired, but user accounts not created by the Fusion application, HR admin manually they have to create the user accounts. In that case also, HR admin will come to tools, security console, add user account, and when they creating the user account team, if it is for any existing employee who is already hired, the worker record will be there. No person type we have to choose as worker. So if I choose worker, one more field will open up here. See, worker name. System asking us for which employee in the system you are creating the user account. So whoever the employees, that is workers hired in the system, that you can able to access thing. You can go to magnifier and you can able to search. Let's say I'm searching with a name John. See, it is a demo environment team, training environment. So already the data is available. Oracle for practicing purpose, it will ready-madely gives the data team. See, when I'm searching with John, whoever the employee is already hired in the system with the name John and who is not having the user accounts, the list is coming up. So let's say for this John Anderson employee, HR want to create the user account team. So select that person, click on select, OK team. Now all his details will be copied on the right hand side. See, his first name, his last name, his email ID, everything got synchronized. So this is team for any existing employees. If client side HR want to create the user account, they can create. Yes, Naresh, any question to you? Please unmute, Naresh. I think you raised the hand, but okay, fine. Let me continue, team. So if you want to create user account for any existing employee in the system, then we have to choose as worker, and you can search that employee and HR can able to create team. Let's suppose this is not for employee. We are creating the user accounts for our implementation team, for our implementation consultants. So let us check it out, team, how HR can able to configure, we can able to create the user account. So while you creating a user account team for non-employees, for our implementation team, we have to keep the person type as none. And then we have to give the details team. While you creating the user account information, we should keep as active. Kumar, when this lock will come, that I will tell in next 10 minutes. But while you configuring the user account, you have to keep the account information as active. Then only the account will be workable. Okay. And this advanced information is not required, team. This is a concept related to single sign-on. This is a technical concept. Basically, if your client using multiple applications team, they are using Fusion HCM for HR portal. Then they are using Microsoft Outlook for their email inboxes to the employee and other tools for different purposes team. For all the tools, if they have to maintain the common user credentials team, single sign-on concept will be there. But if your client using that single sign-on means some additional setups will be required. This will be taken care by the technical team or the middleware team in the project. We will not handle that. Please ignore team. So here, associated person information, none, account information active, and then in the user information, we have to give the details team. User category, you will be having default. What is this default? We will see in next 15 minutes that also team. So give the details here. First name, last name, email, phone number. Let's say I'm creating first name as TrioTech, last name as Kumar. Let's say, okay, one of the user by name TrioTech Kumar. Now see team, the moment I given, already there is one account. This example I thought of telling you later. Let it be. Let's say I'm creating TrioTech Varma. First name as TrioTech, last name as Varma. The person name is this one team. See team, the moment I given first name, last name, here username, if you see, automatically system taken up with a combination. What is that team? First name dot last name. First name dot last name. Who told that system to follow this policy? That we can set up team as per our client requirement. These all things we can customize. But before that, let me show you how to create the user account. Then we will come to this category, these rules and all. So while you creating the user account team, first name, last name, and email, if you want to give, you can give team. Let's say I'm giving one of the email, kumar.oracle18@gmail.com. One of the email ID that which we are using, I'm giving team. Then phone is optional. If you want to give, you can give, or else it is not mandatory team. Okay, you can give here. And then password details. What is the password? So I'm giving some password, test@123, and I'm confirming. So whatever the password that you want to give to that user, you can give team. So in order to create the user account for anyone in the system, this is the approach team. Come to add user account and fill the details accordingly. First name, last name, email, phone number, username, password, confirming the password. Now, okay. User account creation is sufficient. Now the concept of role management will come into the picture. What is the team? You are creating user. What is that? TrioTech Varma. Okay, for this person, Mr. Varma, you are creating the user account. This is the person team. What access this user should have in the system? What all functionalities this person Varma should able to access in the system? While we creating the user account, the concept of roles will come into the picture team. So that's why when we talking about security administration in Fusion system team, we have to talk about these two things. One is user account management, how to create the user accounts to the employees or users team. Then the concept of role management, what access that Varma should have in the system. So team, when it comes to access in the entire Fusion application, security access will be working on a one single concept called RBAC. What is that? RBAC. In the entire Fusion application, the concept of security access will be working on a one single concept called RBAC. RBAC means what team? Roles based access control. What is that? Roles based access control. In Oracle e-business suite, we used to add the responsibilities to the users. But in Fusion application, Oracle replaced that responsibility with the concept of roles. Okay. So the entire security access will be working on a one single concept called RBAC, roles based access control. See team, for every module in the system or every functional area in the system, Oracle standardly delivered certain roles to access them. For example, you take these things team. Okay, we have these modules in the system. Oracle delivered in order to access all the functionalities in this particular modules team for core HR, absence, and talent. For these three modules team, Oracle given the standard roles like, I will list out them. Anyhow, today you will be getting the PDF also for our core HR and security. In that you can find all these things. Okay, no need to make a note of them. So in order to access core HR, absence, and talent, Oracle given the roles like human resource manager, human resource specialist, okay, human resource analyst. Like that, we have the roles given by Oracle team. For payroll management, in order to access all the functionalities of payroll module, we have the roles by name payroll manager, payroll administrator. Okay, like that we have roles team. For compensation benefits team, for compensation module to access, we have compensation manager, compensation administrator. Then for benefits module also team, benefits administrator. Okay. Then for OLC module team, Oracle Learning Cloud, we have learning specialist. Okay. Then we have some more team, but some of them I'm writing here. For ORC module team, for recruiting cloud, we have recruiting specialist. Then hiring manager, recruiter, etc. Like that team. For every module, Oracle delivered standard roles. Not only for this, if you want to access this security administration also team. Now I came to the system. Simply I came to tools and then I came to security console. If that security console access the user should have under tools means there is a role team for that also. Something called IT security manager role. In order to access the security console, there is a role called IT security manager role. So the concept here, try to understand team. In Fusion application, the access will be controlled by this concept team. Roles based access control. Whenever a user account created for any person, whatever the roles that we add to that user account, the user can able to access to those functionalities or modules. That is what the concept is. Roles based access control. What roles that user have in the system, that user can able to access that functionalities. So for every module or for every functionality team, Oracle standardly delivers certain roles. So if you add that roles to the user, then the user will have access to that modules or functionalities. So this is basic overview of concept of security. But once we start our module configurations, okay, within the roles, we have to deep dive team. Means we have to customize the roles as per the client requirement team. This part we are going to take later. As of now, I want everyone to understand how in the Fusion system, the concept of security is working, how to create the user account and how to add the Oracle delivered roles to that user to give access. Why? Because when we go for the project implementation, this is the first activity you will do. Client, sometimes they will only create all accounts and they will give us the access. If not, only for our project manager or team lead, they will create one account with all the required roles, and they will ask us for remaining team members, you only create. So we should be aware of this. That is why I'm covering this topic initially, team. So now I'm creating the user account team. Now I'm creating the user account team. So TrioTech Varma, the person name is, so the username I'm giving that password. And here team, when you come to the roles, we have the option C, add role. So here you can able to search for all the roles that Oracle delivered in the system. So before adding any module related roles team, I will try to add one basic role. There will be one role by name called employee team. So first for this person, I'm adding one basic role by name employee. So let us see what access this person Varma will get. So I'm searching for that role team. Okay. So employee role is a basic role team, means at least a user can able to access his own self-service in the system. So I will try to add this role and I will show you by logging with this user what access he is getting. While you practicing also, by this time, every one of you got access to the application team. While you practicing this concept, when you searching, you might be getting duplicate names when you searching for the roles. That is okay, team. You pick up role. This is the name of the role and this is the code. See, ORA, Aura, Oracle. So the role code starting with ORA is the Oracle delivered standard seeded role team. The other role per employee, that is a copied role, duplicate role team. Because when we working on the role management concept in real time, we have to customize the Oracle delivered seeded roles and we have to create team because some data restrictions, some functionality restrictions we have to achieve for that purpose. So because it is a demo instance, other people also will be practicing team. When they practicing security classes, someone like you and me created the duplicate team. Please ignore that. Whatever the role starting with the code Aura, only that you pick up team. Now see, I have selected that and I click on add role membership. So team, this is the user account I'm creating and I have added one role to this user. Let us see team, with this role, what access the user will get in the system, right? So click on save and close. Click on save and close. So the user account will be created. Now it's created. If you want to cross verify, go and check out team here. Any existing user accounts in the system, if you want to check out, in the user accounts area only, you can search team. If you know his username, search with username. If you know his email, search with email or his last name, first name. Keep the filter what you know and you search. I know his full account team, TrioTech.Varma. I'm searching team. See here. So this is the user account just we created team. Let us try to log in with this user and let's check it out. So what I am doing, I'm opening one more window team, incognito. Okay. And then I'm logging in with this user TrioTech Varma and let's check it out team. So fresh login page, one more window I have opened in the Google incognito. Let's say I'm trying to log in with team TrioTech.Varma, the user ID which we created, the user account, and I'm passing the password. Okay. And then I'm trying to sign in. So let's check out team. Now see, I could able to log in. My screen is loading. Welcome. So the user account I have created, right? Now I logged in with that person, TrioTech Varma. And now let's check out team. What all functionalities this Varma can able to access in the system. Let me click on home button. Okay. And see team, good evening, TrioTech Varma. Okay. Now team, What all functionalities is having access team here? Me, procurement, tools. Under tools again, there is no security console C, only couple of options. Others. Only 4 functional areas on the springboard he can able to see team. Even if we go to the navigator, only these things, nothing much. Even if I go to this settings and actions button, only limited things, no administration area, nothing. But see my login, the user which I am using currently, how many functionalities I could able to access. Yesterday Hassan was asking me, Kumar, why you have all the access to these functional areas? Okay, sales, procurement, these are not our concepts, no? Roles. In Fusion application, whatever the roles we add to that user account, the user can access to all the functional areas. How many functional areas I have? That is because of roles. Under my tools, I can see these many things, security console, but that person Verma, see his screen you observe, minimal things. And here I can able to see in my settings and action, this administration, edit pages, global template, manage configuration, setup and maintenance. But here, no. So all these based upon the roles. Now what I will do, let me sign out. Okay. Let me go to his user account again and let us try to add some more roles and we will check out team, whether access improvised or not. Okay. So again, as a admin, if you want to do any sort of updations to the user accounts in the system, even once we hand over the application team, if the client side HR admins, when they working on this security related issues for any employee, they want to control the user access and all, they have to come here, tools, they will go to security console, again, go to users and search for that user. So TrioTech.Verma, I'm searching, he is the one. So click on that name so that I will land upon edit user account screen. See user account details. This is the account we created for this person, TrioTech Verma. Okay. Now here team, if I want to reset his password from backend team, now Verma can do by himself because he got his credentials, right? Once he log in, he can do whatever he wants. But as a admin from the backend, if I want to do resetting the password, I can do from here. Okay. And then editings, whatever I want, I can do team. So let us try to add some more roles to this user and check out team. Click on edit, click on edit. Now the page became editable. Anything you want to change the username, first name, last name, email, phone number, anything you can do the updations here team. Now click on add role. Some more roles I'm trying to add team. What are they? Let's say these roles I'm adding team. Human resource manager. Okay. Aura one I told to pick up. I'm using that one. See, human resource manager, human resource specialist. Okay. Okay. Then human resource analyst. Right, team. Along with this, let us try to add some roles of payroll also, team. Payroll administrator. I'm selecting and I'm clicking on add role membership. Okay. And then compensation administrator. I'm adding that as well. And then benefits administrator. So whatever the module related roles I'm trying to add team. Let's say learning specialist. See? So I'm trying to add more roles. Let us try to give this role also. IT security manager role to Verma so that he can access security console also now. Click on add role. IT security manager role. Spelling mistake is there, ignore. IT security manager. Add role membership. Now what I'm doing team, for the same user, along with that basic role, all the HCM related module roles we have attached team. Now let me click on save and close. Save and close. Now let us see what access this Verma will get in the system. Now see, for this person Verma, all the roles we have added up. See, all these roles we have added up. Now let us try to log in into the system. Click on confirm. Then I'm trying to log in with TrioTech Verma. By the way, this is not case sensitive. You can use it smaller letters, uppercase, whatever you want, you can do. Okay. Test@123 I given the password while we creating. Now let us check out team. See now. Did you observe the screen? More functionalities came. Earlier, these many are not there. Now see, my client groups came, benefits came. Under my client groups, basically core HR, absence, payroll, everything you will handle from my client groups functional area. Under that C team, new person, absences, goals, performance, talent review, learning module, payroll related things, benefits administrator, see benefits module. And if I go to tools, now the security console also coming up. See team, why these got improvised to this person? Roles. That is what this concept means. Roles based access control. So whenever in the Fusion application team, we create the user account. It might be for our client employees in real time, or for our implementation consultants team. For anyone, whenever we creating the user accounts team, creating just user account doesn't suffice our requirements. It's useless, no use. What he will access? So while we creating the user access team, along with the user account, we have to add the respective roles. Okay. So in real time for the client employees, what happens team? Based upon the assignment he is hiring, in which job, which role, what access to be given to him, that all their HR teams and all they will decide and they will assign team. But for our team, we require all access. So usually we will have all the roles of all the modules. So our implementation team will have full access to the system and we can start configuring all the modules team. Okay. So when it comes to role management team, I told you Oracle delivers by default standard roles, but in the projects team, there will be data restrictions. Means when an employee log in into the system, what data he can able to access, that restrictions to be achieved team. And any functionalities, customizations also client will ask. Now team, with the human resource manager role, a person can access my client group and he can come to new person and he can perform all these functionalities team. Let's say he will have hire an employee. Okay. He will have hire an employee, add contingent, pending, like that. My client might have a requirement, Kumar, whoever is the person logins with the human resource manager role, I don't want this functionality to be given access to them. Please hide it, or this functionality. So in concept of roles, we have role customization team. This topic is too early to discuss. Why? First of all, we are not familiar with any functionalities or any screens of any module. So for every batch, what I follow is team. First, I will cover user account management part. So while I'm creating user account, I will show you how to add Oracle delivered seeded roles. But once we complete our functional training, core HR, absence, payroll, talent, all these modules team, you will become familiar with all the screens in the Fusion application. Then I will take up the concept of roles again team. So a detailed session on the role customization, how to configure custom roles, what will be the real-time requirements when we customizing the roles, that we are going to see at later part. Because now if I tell you, you won't understand. As such, you be in the understanding till here team. In Fusion application, the concept of security is working on our back. So while we creating the user account, whatever the roles we add to that user, he will get access to the application team. Now further, what we can discuss team? What we can discuss team? See, as a admin, when you come to user account details team, you can able to edit it and you can able to add the roles. But as I told here team, if you want to reset, let's say this person forgot the password, he's reaching out to to the HR team or IT team that he want his password to get reset. Okay, so the HR admin can come to the user account details, click on reset password, and then two options HR will get team: automatically generate, manually. If I choose automatic and if I click on reset team, to this employee email ID, okay, system will send the password reset link, so he can do that. If not team, manual option, if HR choose, he can manually change the password and he can share it with the employee. That is manual. But if you could observe team, when I'm trying to reset the password policy coming, see, at least 8 characters and 1 number. Who told that to follow by the system? Password policy. Huh? Who told that password policy to be followed by this? Not even that team. If you could notice here, done. Whenever you creating a new user account team, the moment I given the first name, let's say I'm giving TrioTech Shankar, let's say last name, for example. The moment I given first name and last name, the moment I keep my cursor to the next field, automatically the username ID, the format also taking up with a combination team, first name dot last name. Who told system to follow that? And here also team, when I'm trying to insert the password, there is an information, password policy, strictly 8 characters, 1 number. Who told these things? Huh? Not only that, I created one account, right? Verma account today on August 1st now. When I get into his details team, here if you could see in the account information, password expiration date coming, August, September, October 30. Exactly 90th day from today. Exactly 90th day from today. Password expiration means by every 3 months, the employee password will get expired. Before that, the user should reset the password. Who given all these settings team? In Fusion application, we can able to customize user account rules. We have a concept called team user account rules. Rules like what should be the username format, what should be the password policy, how many days frequently the password should expire. These all things will come from this category team. Whenever you configuring the user account, see, whenever you're creating a new user account also, we have something called user category and there is something default. So we can able to configure all these rules under this category team. This configuration here we have user categories. So this we will take up in next session team. Tomorrow we cannot take up today. It will take again 30 minutes of time to discuss. But before that team, I want to tell you some more functionalities in the system. So whenever you create the user account, once the user account is created, you want to do any type of updations to that user. Either you can get into the details and you can do edit and you can change all the details, reset password, everything. Or team, here also, whenever you search for the user account team, actions button is there. See, couple of options are there. Lock account. Actually, when the account will lock, and when the account is locked, what happens to that user credentials, team? By default, the Fusion application will follow this rule. Now we given user credentials to you. In the WhatsApp community, we shared the user credentials. When you try giving the password wrongly for more than 4 times, you are trying to log in with a user ID password. 4 times wrongly you given the password, account will automatically lock. We don't have any configuration settings for that. It's a static uh, count that Oracle going up team. Earlier, it has given only 3 attempts. Now 4 attempts Oracle giving team. If you give wrongly more than 4 times, account will get locked. So when account is locked, when you use your credentials, it comes as authentication failed. Okay. Again, we have to come to the backend and we have to come to actions and we have to unlock the account. Let's say when you can use this lock account in real time, let's say this employee got suspended team due to some miscellaneous activities. For 15 days, organization suspended this person from the organization. Let's assume Verma is an employee for time being. For 15 days, organization suspended team. So organization also want to hold his access. He cannot access the application also. So HR can come, action button, he can lock the account. When the account locking team, see account locked. When the account is locked, see the behavior. Okay, if I refresh, he will sign out team actually once. Usually it will sign out, but let me do it manually. Now see team, when I'm trying to log in with the same credentials team, TrioTech.Verma, password I'm giving. And now when I'm trying to sign in, what it is showing me? Authentication failed. If the account is locked in the system, the user cannot use his credentials. System will not allow him to enter. Authentication failed. So team, once we unlock the account again actions button, unlock. Now the account will get unlocked team. See, now the user tries to log in. Now I'm trying to log in team, TrioTech.Verma, and then test@123 and sign in. Now it's taking slight bit of time to get the changes reflected. Team, as parallelly we are working. Okay. So once he give the password, system will allow. It's taking slight bit of time, but usually once we unlock the account team, the user credentials will be back. If we check after 2 minutes like that, because system in the backend refreshing as parallel tabs, in parallel tabs we are working, that's why team. So once we sign in, system do allow. So that is locking and unlocking of the account team. Then from here also, admin can able to reset the password of that user. Click on reset password. From here also team automatically manually change the password options will get. And then team delete. Let's say you have mistakenly created the user account. Permanently you want to delete that account team. Then you have the option of delete. The user account will be deleted team. And then copy user, compare user. As an admin, I want to compare any of the 2 users in the system team. What roles and access this person have and what the other person have. Compare users if we come. This is TrioTech Verma on the left hand side. And second user, you can search team. If any employee in the system is there, you can search, select, click on OK and compare team. So between these 2 users in the system, what all functionalities access they have. See, these all are functionalities in the system. Absence, payment distribution work area, or access payroll administration work area. Verma having access for all those. His roles giving access to those screens team. But John Andrews is not having access to them. So if some things John Andrews will have, Mr. Verma might not have. Some both commonly might have. So what all access the users having, if you want to compare between them, you can use this compare feature team. If you want to export to the Excel, the results, you can do that as well. This is one of the functionality we have to compare to users team. Then we have copy user also. Means what team? See, while I'm creating this person Verma in the system, the account team, these all roles I added. Let's say I want one more person account to be created. That person also should have all these roles what this user Verma is having. So rather than going to new user account page, giving the details and going to add role, 10 roles one by one manually rather adding team, simply I can take the reference. Anyhow, my requirement is what team, whatever the roles Verma have, that roles only I want for the other user. So rather than going here team, I can search for the Verma account, go to actions button, and I can go to copy user. So whatever the roles this Verma have will be copied and you will land upon add user account screen. See team, copy user. I landed upon add user account. All the roles from that Verma account copied team. So it will make the work of HR ease rather than going add role and adding multiple times. Now I can give what is that new person details and all, and I can save and close team. That is copy user. And while we creating the user account team, when we adding the role, we have auto provisioning concept team. This is also to be covered as part of role management classes team. Automation of roles also will be there. That part is auto provisioning means. So that all we will see in a role management classes later team. So by this, I hope today I made you understand how in the Fusion application, user accounts manually will be created. So when we go for the project, if the situation comes like for all of our team members, the user accounts to be created and access to be given, we all can do, right? We can manually create the user accounts and we can add the roles. This is how manual way of creating the user accounts and adding the roles will be done. Now within user creation, user account rules, what is the user ID format, password policy, password expiration settings, that we will take up in tomorrow's session team. Okay. Now let me take up the doubts here. So any questions in today's topic, online people? I'm unmuting. You can please ask me.
Mr. Kumar.
Yeah, please
Sorry.
tell me.
In EBS, we used to have end date functionality. So the end date functionality is removed in Fusion.
End date functionality basically for the termination here we will be having.
Yeah,
It
pre-termination.
means, yeah, it means for the employees basically that will work. Whenever employee submit the resignation, automatically his account will become inactive.
No, imagine that for the consultant, for a new consultant coming in, and I want to provide him 3 months access directly, only 3 months access. After the 3 months, it should get
No,
terminated directly. Yeah, it's available in EBS.
correct.
Is it removed in
Yes. In
Fusion?
Fusion, we don't have that feature. While we creating the user account, giving the specific date till this time, this user should have, we don't have that. That has to be taken care manually.
And another point, can you help me out with this? What you call REST API? What REST API in the user management? Is it
Sir,
an audit?
we are not going to see that concept in our regular training. But if you
Okay.
want that to explore, I will definitely help with the documentation. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. So next
Sir, I have
question.
one more question. One question. Can you please go back to the role screen? And there would be an option like assignable, non-assignable, yes or no. But both the responsibilities are showing all.
This part will be covered as part
assignable.
of roles. Yeah, understood.
Okay.
Auto provisioned and assignable will be covered at one shot. When we creating role mapping, the auto provisioning setup, we have self-requestable, assignable, auto provision like that. We'll see that. Don't worry. Yeah.
Ravi, Balaji here. So what's the difference between user account and what is the difference of user accounts and hire employee? So first we have to hire the employee, then
No,
we
I
will
think you
use.
joined lately when I explained this. Implementation consultants means these people are not the employees in the client organization. For example, I told you, if we are an implementation consultants working for the client, we require user account access to configure the system, but our records will not be hired as an employees, basically. In some projects, if client allows, they might hire us. It's a different story as a contingent workers or something. But usually, if other than employees, if the user require an access to the Fusion system, we can create just user accounts. That I covered as part of implementation consultants. But this is our client employees. Once we configure the entire system, we hand over to them. When HR hiring their employees in the system, for them, system automatically will generate.
Okay, one more question. So can we see these user accounts in the backend?
You can do from the VIP reports, you can go. If you want to extract a report, you can get that from.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. And Kavita, I'm having a meeting, I'm signing off. Okay. And Ram, HR manager, HR specialist are all same, right? Or no, Ram, usually people have that misconception, but there will be slight different roles. I mean, different privileges will be there. I mean, between these two roles also, some privilege differences will be there. Everything you will get in specialist role, actually, not in manager. And Mahesh, in real-time project, is there a limitation set by the client on creating consultant user, or they monitor? Definitely they will monitor. We cannot create as many that we want. When we are going for the project, we will let them clear how many resources are going to work, how many accounts we are going to create, what roles we are adding also we have to submit to them. It's not something like as if we can do whatever we want. This will be closely monitored by the client team. And Lokesh, can you please show a sample in creating custom role where the user? This is too early, but Lokesh, we will be seeing when we reach out to the role management discussion. And Raju, there is a question by Raju. What is that? TrioTech Verma is a consultant. What? Your question is valid, but just to show you the basic overview, what functionalities he will get, I added the employee role. Usually that will not be required. And same like R12. Yes. Further, please, any questions, team? You can speak up.
Hi, Kumar.
Yeah.
In order to see this RBAC tools and security thing, before that, prior to that, we should have this IT security manager role, right?
Definitely, yes.
Who will assign this role to us?
Client, when they giving access to one of the project manager, right? They will give all the roles, including IT security manager, also to us. So when we log in with that user, we will have access to the security console. Then only we can create further accounts.
Okay, and one more question. As a consultant, among all these roles, which role should we assign to ourselves? As a human, as a
It depends
HR
upon the
specialist?
project modules you are working on. So if you are implementing core HR, absence, payroll, talent, these modules, then the roles related to that modules you have to assign. Or if you are implementing only compensation module or other module, then that roles are required. It depends upon our project scope.
Okay, Kumar, thank you.
So Kumar,
Yes, Ketan or Hassan, someone asking. Hassan,
so
please.
Kumar, when we're creating the user account, you have mentioned as the employee, right? So this at the real time, it is we need to mention as a default employee first thing.
No, while I'm creating the user account, I kept it as none for us.
Then for them. After that, you have mentioned as employee.
No, I mean, role you are telling?
Right.
See, that is usually not required, but to show you how or what basic functionalities will come, I added the employee role. Usually
Directly
for the employee accounts only, we will add.
So directly we can assign whatever the role that
we can
consider.
do. We can do.
We need not need to add the employee right there.
We don't need to. And Ketan, please tell me.
Yes, sir. So I'm saying that if we create that TrioTech one ID,
Okay.
this consultant, so that person can able to see everything in the system, or should we provide the specific against the AOR areas of responsibility?
You people very knowledgeable, I think. Huh? You are very upfront thinking. Area of responsibility is a concept there to restrict the data. What you telling is absolutely correct, but that is too far. As of now, if I'm adding the roles, seeded roles without any data security restriction, he will have full access. But if that person is an employee in the system and is having associated with any representative concept, AOR, and the role security restrictions also configured based on AOR, then the restriction will happen. But now this Verma is not a employee user. It's a consultant user I created. And what I did, seeded roles I am adding. So now this user will have no data restriction. Understand?
Right.
Yeah.
And even if I create it in the live scenario any employee, and I am providing the entire the list of roles, so that person can able to view anything in the system, right?
Only the data security, what is applicable to him, he can access only that data, not anything else.
Okay, noted.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yes, Kumar, at the beginning of the class, I discussed about the
Yeah, Hassan, sorry. Yeah, I will come to that. See, rest of the participants, you have any doubts, okay, don't be in the impression that people are asking the questions that we are not understanding. We have some participants who already working in this domain or prior EBS or something. They will try to map their experiences. They will ask. Rest of the people, if you have anything, feel free to ask, or else after the class, please reach out to us so that you can get cleared with it. No need to hesitate anything. You need to reach us for any sort of doubt you have. Okay. So before closing the session, there are two questions that which posted by Hassan and some other person. Okay. What is that related to the access? I could not able to access TrioTech portal. And the other one asking, you shared us two environments, which one to use? First of all, team, everyone, please check out your spam folder also, because some emails going to spam. Check out that email so that you can see step by step. In that, once you go to our website, problem here is we have given two logins, right? Many people trying to log in here, e-learn login, and then they're trying to insert their user ID and password in this. No, this is not for you. You have to log in from this live classes login. You are in live batch, right? You are not opting the video course. You are in live classes. Go to live classes login, and here you pass your user ID and password. Then you can able to enter into the portal. So scroll down the page, you can find the enrolled courses. So here you can see your course that which you enrolled for. So your login should be live classes login. So Hassan, are you in this issue? I mean, are you trying with e-learn and then something like this, or what?
I am trying with the live classes. Okay. So once I am entering the page, it's not redirected to the dashboard.
In that case, check out here. You might have the profile at the top. Profile.
Yes.
Click on your profile. It will redirect to dashboard. Scroll down the page a bit. You can find your dashboard. Okay.
I'm not able to log in my profile only.
What is the issue? 1 second. Let me stop recording and then I will check out because that is your credentials now.